It's now time for Trivia Tracks with yours truly, Price Robertson. This edition of Trivia Tracks is brought to you by ProMed Ambulance Services, care you can count on, and Beth Smith at Edward Jones. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC. One of jazz music's most underrated figures, trumpeter Lee Morgan, played a key role in hard bop, an extension of bebop or bop music. Born in Philadelphia on July 19, 1938, Lee was the youngest of 4 children. Originally interested in the vibraphone, he soon showed a growing enthusiasm for the trumpet. Lee also knew how to play the alto saxophone. On his 13th birthday, his sister Ernestine gave him his first trumpet. His primary stylistic influence was Clifford Brown, with whom he took a few lessons in his teens. Morgan came to prominence in 1957, recording on John Coltrane's album Blue Train, and with the band of drummer Art Blakey, whom yet another jazz figure I covered recently also played with, saxophonist Wayne Shorter. While remaining with Blakey, Morgan concurrently began a solo career, at first cutting some records as a leader. He finally left Blakey's ensemble in 1961. His song, The Sidewinder, on the album of the same name, became a surprise crossover hit on the pop and R&B charts in 1964, while Morgan's subsequent recordings found him touching on other styles of music, such as post-bop and avant-garde jazz, as his artistry matured. Soon after The Sidewinder was released, Morgan rejoined Art Blakey for a short period and continued to work prolifically as both a leader and a sideman with the likes of Hank Mobley and the aforementioned Wayne Shorter, becoming a cornerstone of the Blue Note label. He became more politically involved later in life, serving as one of the leaders of the jazz and people's movement. In the early hours of February 10, 1972, Lee Morgan was performing with his band at the Slugs Saloon in New York City. Following an altercation between sets, his common-law wife, Helen Moore Morgan, shot him. The injuries were not immediately fatal, but the ambulance was slow in arriving on the scene as the city had experienced heavy snowfall that resulted in extremely difficult driving conditions. They took so long to get there that Morgan bled to death. He was 33 years old. Helen was arrested and spent a short time in prison before being released on parole. After her release, she returned to her native North Carolina and died there from a heart condition in March 1996. Lee and Helen Morgan were the subjects of the 2016 documentary I Called Him Morgan by Swedish filmmaker Casper Collin, theatrically released in the U.S. in 2017. In his New York Times review, critic A.O. Scott called the film a delicate human drama about love, ambition, and the glories of music. Till next time, I'm Price Robertson. Amazed by today's trivia? Then join me for Trivia Tracks weekdays at 6:45 on Everybody's Country Y95.